The Wasabi 2014 webinar series hosted by Champion Legal. I'm Michelle Forrester, General Manager at Champion Legal, and I'm joined today by Roger Byrne of Interface Financial Group and the President of the Parramatta Chamber of Commerce, and Nancy Georges, the Retail Ms Fixit. Welcome, Nancy and Roger.
Thank you very much, Michelle. Happy to be here this afternoon.
Hi, Michelle. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me.
This is the agenda for the afternoon. Key dates, awards and categories, benefits of entering, alliance with New South Wales Business Chamber, your entry, inspiration and sharing knowledge. We'll start off by having a look at some of the key dates around the 2014 Wasabi program. Entries don't open till May 1, but we've decided this year to do something a little bit different, haven't we, Roger, by starting this webinar series and promoting the Wasabis nice and early. We've started getting expressions of interest out there, and we're hoping that some of you are joining and listening to us today.
That's right, Michelle. So, I mean, traditionally when we run this, a lot of the people don't enter until towards the end of the entry period. So the period runs from May the 1st to June the 26th, but we have opened up for expressions of interest, really to get people on board with the idea of the awards and to get themselves prepared for the entry. We're also providing a series of webinars which are going to be running for a number of weeks, covering key aspects of the various entries. And the point of the webinars really is to help people get the most out of these awards. So it's not only with their applications, but you know, how to market themselves. So they're going to learn, you know, their business is going to learn as part of these awards. So it is educational, it is informative, and that's what we're aiming for.
And being on the organising committee as the President, you've also got a great team there with the Honourable Alan Cabman, OAM, as the Chairman of the Wasabi Committee this year and our patron. That's
correct, yes. And we also have Tracy Manns, who many people will know, and she would really be the first point of contact. Tracy's from Soiree Events, and she's our event manager. And Tracy is also working with Louise Zagic in the Chamber office, and they will handle a lot of the administration. They will be a point of contact for a lot of people. They will be sending out information, and this is, of course, on top of Louise's day-to-day stuff with the Chamber, which we know is quite intensive as well. So if you don't get a reply straight away, we'll be on to it, and it will happen, but we do endeavour to turn things around as quickly as possible.
And we've got a lot of pre-event activity this year too, don't we, Roger, with the event launch at Dooley's?
That's right. So there's a number of things that have to happen, obviously, for the awards to take place, as well as people applying. We need to get sponsors on board. We need to coordinate the sponsors, lock them in, what the offering is. We need to get our media sponsors on board. This year we've been lucky enough to lock in the Western Sydney Business Access as a print and media sponsor, and Hope FM as a radio sponsor. And so they will be covering a lot of the events. We also have sponsorship meetings. We have the sponsors and media lunch, which will take place at Dooley's of Silverwater on April the 2nd, and that will be attended by a State Minister for New South Wales. It will be attended by senior executives from the New South Wales Business Chamber, obviously the Parramatta Chamber, and a number of other VIPs and our sponsors. And that will really be the opening of the Wasabi 2014.
Fantastic. And will past winners be invited to that launch as well?
We will have a number of past winners to give the sponsors the experience that they have had, and we will also be looking to get some other people along who are interested in possibly looking at sponsorship next year. So we're going to have quite a little gathering there on the 2nd, and I'm looking forward to it.
Excellent. What we'll do now is look at some of the award categories. So tell me about the Pinnacle Awards, Roger. They're a little bit different from our categories where we're going to do the webinar series about the different topics. Who can enter the Pinnacle Awards?
All right. Well, the Pinnacle Awards will basically be open to anyone who has applied for any of the categories. The Pinnacle Awards are, I guess, special in that we recognize certain achievements from companies and individuals who have entered the general awards. And to give an example, we have 3 Pinnacle Awards. These people will go, the winners of these will go forward to the New South Wales Business Chamber Awards. And these are the Dooley's Lidcombe Catholic Club Young Entrepreneur of the Year, which is aged 18 to 35. The University of Western Sydney Young Business Executive of the Year, which is aged 18 to 35. Obviously, the difference between an entrepreneur can be somebody who's basically started up a business, whereas a young business executive can be somebody possibly in a bigger business who is recognized for their specific achievements. And we also have the Western Sydney Wanderers. Who do we sing for? Business Leader of the Year, and that is for age 36 plus. So to show there's no ageism within this, yes. We have incorporated that.
Fantastic. And the Endeavour Awards?
Yes, the Endeavour Awards are awards that recognise specific qualities from the entrants. Now, once again, you don't enter an Endeavour Award specifically, but we will look through all the entries and select certain people who we think will fall into these awards. So the Endeavour Awards that make this up, or there's 3 awards. We have the Hope Media Employer of Choice, and this is obviously not for a one-person company or anything like that. It is for somebody who is employing staff. We have the CAD Partners CFO On-Call Rising Star Award. This is something, this recognizes basically someone probably quite new into the corporate world or running a company who is a rising star. And then we have the Alan Cadman, the Honorary Alan Cadman OAM Patron's Choice Award. And the Patron's Choice really looks at something that's probably a bit more left field about a business, something that's a bit quirky even, that the patron recognizes. So the patron will look through all the finalists and basically pick somebody out of that. And for instance, last year we had a lady called Grace Condon from a company called Amada Amavic, who do first aid solutions. And Grace's story was that her husband had died. She basically inherited a business that was nearly bankrupt, and she, without very much business knowledge at all, turned that business around, and it now has a very successful business running in Western Sydney. So it's that sort of story, I guess, that differentiates the winners of the Patron's Choice Award.
That's certainly a great story. So now onto our categories. So this is the program that we have the Wasabi Webinars based on, all the different topics within these categories. So we've got the Snap Phillip Street Parramatta Excellence in Business Ethics, the Serve Corp Excellence in Innovation, and Excellence in Sustainability. Now, these topics, Nancy, aren't normal things that most businesses might think to enter. Innovation, sustainability, business ethics. How is the local corner store represented in a concept like that?
Well, I really applaud retailers entering these awards because I don't think enough do, and maybe they think we're a little bit small business or small thinking. So I think the thing about business ethics is that you can have an amazing ethic and be a teeny tiny business that works from home. You can also have innovation in your business, changing the business, changing the product, finding new markets. It doesn't really have a size thing. And sustainability, I'll leave for you to talk about, Roger, because I know you know that topic better, but it's not something, you don't have to be green, and green and recycling is not sustainable, but they're things that you do in your everyday life, in your everyday business, that just makes you a really great business. So don't think you have to be big, you've just got to be ethical, innovative, and sustainable.
That's right, Nancy, yeah, and just in relation to sustainability, I guess it's, you know, everyone's got to look at their business and look at where they're going to be in a few years' time, and is your business sustainable? So, you know, you might look at things like Fairfax and things like that, and they've really had to rediscover themselves given the, I guess, demise of newspapers and things like that. So it's really looking at things like that, how you make your business sustainable, where your business is going to be in a couple of years' time, and you know, that you're working towards that model and that you realize, look, you know, the one thing certain is change, and that's it.
It could also be, sorry if I can interrupt, you could also show that you've got a great advisory board or a great brains trust behind the business that really does innovate and help sustain and pull your business through the changing times, because I think that's a really great point that people don't think of when longevity is so important.
On to the next categories, ATB Partners, Excellence in Business, over 20 employees, PwC, Excellence in Export, Etienne Lawyers, Excellence in Work, Health and Safety. Excellence in Export. Now, you've worked with a number of large organisations, Nancy, and the export markets, working overseas. What's something that you'd be looking for in judging a category along the lines of export?
I think the important thing about export too is that you really are looking at channels and not doing just taking your product as it is maybe from here and just shipping it on a boat or a plane. There could be innovation in the way that you're dealing with how it lands on the other side, how it gets shipped from here, how you maybe take parts over and assemble over there, what your partnerships are like in your in the port of arrival and delivery, how you're sourcing new markets from here, who you're working with in that way, and how you connect with that market overseas, I think is important too.
Mm-hmm. And with businesses with over 20 employees, Roger, we've had a number of new larger organisations join the Parramatta Chamber of Commerce of recent times. What sort of excellence have you seen illustrated in these new businesses coming on board with these large number of employees?
Look, I mean, I think the excellence in business over 20 employees really, you know, I mean, there's a different dynamic in dealing with smaller businesses that you get, you know, you get, I won't say headaches, but you get different challenges when you look at, you know, you have more employees and things like that. And I think it's the businesses that are doing those sort of things well. So we certainly have a number of businesses, this is in Parramatta, let alone in Greater Western Sydney, in the professional services area who fall into that category. And I know last year that was certainly one of the people who was very prominent in the awards was someone who did very well in this excellence in business over 20 employees. So it's really the practices around managing the employees, well, not incentivizing, but I guess inspiring. I'm trying to think of another word here, which is evading me, but really, you know, that the employees look forward to working there, that there's good feedback, that it, you know, things like 360-degree assessments and things like that. And it's really, you know, feedback from the employees towards their business as well. That would be a major part of that.
Our next topic, Champion Legal Excellence in Small Business, Western Sydney Business Access, Excellence in Marketing, the Parramatta College Excellence in Education, Core Businesses Education, and Excellence in Customer Service. Now, Nancy, this is the category that you'll be judging. What will you be looking for in a winning entry?
I'm looking for somebody to really blow my mind here and to really demonstrate that they have long-standing, very solid customer service, not just, you know, smiling at people when they walk in the door or packaging their product nicely, because that's what you should be doing. But I think customer service is also too looking at the feedback that comes through, having customers really give you amazing feedback and how you monitor that and reply back to that. What products you choose, your product innovation. I think your, you know, how you motivate your staff is also your staff are your internal customer. So really looking at really great stories of also people innovating through customer service, because I think it's a hard topic to sort of master, but when you are customer-centric, it's an easy one for somebody to do that and show their skills. So I can't wait to get into this one.
Excellent.
And can I just say on the excellence in education, we'll be looking for everything from schools, colleges, universities, you know, providers of education, and really looking at how they differentiate themselves and what they're doing differently that's really working in that area.
And a shout out to On Road Driving School, who was the winner of the Excellence in Small Business last year. Yeah. Hi guys, they're a great, innovative, growing small business, really active on social media. It's always great to see them publicising all the great learners getting their Ps. It's a really inspiring story on social media.
Nice.
And in regards to Western Sydney Business Access, Roger, tell us about the promotion they did last year as part of the Wasabi Awards 2013. It was quite an incentive, I think, for businesses to enter this year, the possibility of replication of last year's.
Well, that's right, that's right. So certainly the Western Sydney Business Access is probably the premier business paper in Western Sydney, I would say, and they're also obviously a lot more, they're targeting a lot more online delivery now as well. But last year they came to the awards gala dinner and they actually produced the monthly copy of the Western Sydney Business Access that night, for at least the night of the awards, with the winners and the finalists on the front cover across the sort of first couple of pages, and it was really a fantastic expose for the awards, but even more so for the actual winners and finalists, in that they saw themselves in print, they saw the results of their hard work, and it was tremendous to see. And certainly there was tremendous feedback we got from that. And I would expect that we will do the same this year, and I would expect that we will even surpass it this year. So
fantastic. So that leads us on to the benefits of entering. So apart from getting your face on the front page of the local newspaper,
which is important.
Very important. But what are some of the benefits to entering the awards?
Look, you know, first of all, the entry process itself, I think, where a business has a chance to step back and say, well, why am I entering the awards? What is it about my business that, you know, makes me potentially eligible for an award? And I think very, very often business owners are so tied up in the day-to-day running of the business, and I know this from personal experience. Sometimes I'm at home at 10 o'clock at night doing the accounts, you know, emailing people, getting the last things done, that you don't actually sometimes get to step back and look at your business. The process of entering the awards lets you do that. You know, there's a lot of information that you can get in order to help you do that as well. So, you know, it's a learning and education journey entering the awards. For the people who get through and who get into the finals, obviously you've got the promotion of their business through things like Hope Media, through the Western Sydney Business Access, through our Facebook channels, our LinkedIn channels, all the online, the Twitter, and all this sort of thing. So plus, you know, people have the ability to tell other businesses, hey, I was a finalist in this, I was a winner in this. So your emails, your websites, your correspondence, every way that you interact with your customers, even your suppliers and things like that, you should be telling them, hey, look, I'm an award winner, because at the end of the day, that could be the thing that could differentiate you from another business and get you the next contract, the next big deal.
I definitely think too, Roger, as you said, filling out that form, you may actually identify some things and not get through to the finalist list. But I think to fill out the form and then identify areas that you want to develop, and then next year re-enter, fill out the form again and show how you've progressed, you might actually be entering a level or an award that you wouldn't have thought you would be entering. And I think to really use it as a business exercise and to get onto the radar of the chamber, of sponsors, of other people, I think is really important. And customers would love to hear that you've entered the award and would love to support you as well. So I think there's a lot of great things to entering, and I think it really is great to elevate your business. And this is a great business activity, which you're right, takes you out of your day-to-day income generating, but is great for business development. And we don't do that enough as small businesses, I don't think.
Absolutely. I mean, we hear enough about the actors and the actresses and everything like that, getting 100 awards a year, and small business who are working equally hard or harder struggle to get any recognition whatsoever. So people should enjoy the awards and go for it. Absolutely.
Fantastic. And a great opportunity for the businesses of Western Sydney, Roger, with the alliance with the New South Wales Business Chamber.
Yes. So, I mean, not alone are you sort of, you know, entering the Wasabis. The winners from the Wasabis in, I think, 13 of the categories will go forward into the New South Wales Business Chamber. So this, we are a section of the New South Wales Business Chamber, which is really the Central West section. So there's a North, South as well that will go forward, and all these, there's a gala event towards the end of the year, which is the New South Wales Business Chamber Awards. Obviously, we'll be promoting and singing for our winners in that, and if they get through the New South Wales Business Chamber Awards, they go on to the Australian Business Awards. So, I mean, not alone are you getting exposure in Western Sydney, you're also getting exposure within New South Wales and potentially within Australia. So it's a great story for the people that can make that journey. And obviously, you know, coming from Western Sydney, we'll be shouting for the people from here.
Looking forward to it, Roger. So your entry, the finer points of the entry will go through as we get closer to the May 1 opening deadline. Through each topic, we will go into more detail about some of the expectations of the judges and some highlights from past winning entries. What are some other things that people need to think about with their entry, maybe getting that into their head now at the beginning of this process, Nancy?
I think it's really important, having done this a number of times myself through different awards, I think it's important not to get caught up into the mechanics of filling out the form. Don't worry about the filling in the boxes. Really focus on telling us who you are, what you do, and why you should win the award. Don't assume that the judges will also read between the lines or do their own homework or look at the 27 things that you list for them to link across to. Really try and be succinct so that you can communicate why you are the winner and how what your journey has been to get there. And then the boxes will fill themselves almost. But I think too many people worry about those mechanics and question 19 of 27 and that sort of thing. But really think about it as this communication of what you're doing and what's special and why win.
Yeah, and I think, look, through the entry process, there's the opportunity to go back in and revise your entry and refine it. And I think, you know, what I would say to businesses is start early. So I think we launch at the start of May. Don't leave it till the last week of June to get it in, as I can guarantee you 80% of the businesses did last year. You start early, and as Nancy says, you know, you can save your profile and your application online. It's all registered through the New South Wales Business Chamber application, so it's standard for everybody. Depending on the categories you enter, there's different questions to be asked and there's different answers, but you can go in, change it if you think of something better before submitting. So make it a process. Don't just sit down and do it all at once. Go through it, have a look at all the questions, understand what it is, and then I think you can you know, think about it and amend your answers accordingly to get the best out of it.
And I think too, sorry if I could add, involve your whole team. And if that is you and your husband over the dining room table, then great. If that's you and your friends who help you, or if that's you and your 6 staff, involve everybody in the business in the process, because I think then that they'll be invested and they'll also be able to give you some great points that maybe you hadn't thought of. Don't be the lone wolf.
It was certainly great fun seeing all the groups there last year at the gala night and seeing all the teams of people who had participated in rejoicing and enjoying their wins.
Nice.
Yeah, and I think, you know, at the end of the day, the gala night's the celebration for a lot of hard work for these businesses, and that's the way it should be. You know, it's a night of celebration. Whether you're a finalist, whether you're a winner, or whether you're just going along for the night, you know, hey, we get little enough chance to celebrate our businesses.
And of course, along the way, this year's journey is a little bit different from last year. We're here to help. Wasabi Webinars will be here every Wednesday, 4 p.m. and recorded so that you can listen back at alternative times. We've got the interactive chat and Q&A on the webinar site for those who can join us live. If you can't join us live, we also have a Wasabi exclusive support forum on Facebook. It is a closed group, so only people who have filled in the expressions of interest form on the Wasabi website will be allowed to enter the Facebook support forum. Please feel free to put any questions about particular topics or the process onto that page, and we will answer you via the webinars and also interaction with you on the Facebook page.
Perfect. Really use your community. I think if you're getting support, use it. And don't be afraid. There's no such thing as no question is a dumb question. All questions are excellent because they show us that you've given some thought to it as well.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Nancy. Thank you, Roger. Looking forward to speaking with you more about Wasabi 2014.
All right. Thank you very much, Michelle, and good luck to all our entrants.
Absolutely. Thanks. Good luck, everyone.